Do you ask yourself, am I ready to drink ayahuasca? Am I ready for a a master plant diet? And these are two different questions, and I try to answer to both of them here. Like drinking ayahuasca, considering drinking ayahuasca, my answer would be to check in with yourself. How much are you able to hold and feel your emotions? How much skills or how many skills do you have to navigate maybe difficult memories which might show up? Um, how how do you feel about, feeling pain? What are your coping strategies? How aware are you about your resistance? Um, how much do you have in your body a yes? From a not from a place of urgency, or not from a place, oh, I have to do that because many people do that and I have to heal and I have to expand my consciousness. This would not be the right voice, I feel. If it comes from a very deep place, um where is a very deep sense and feeling of connecting deeper to yourself, learning more about the universe, learning more about complexities. If you already did therapeutic work or other spiritual work and you notice like, wow, there's a boundary, there's something I'm not getting through, and you have this deeper feeling inside of you and your body that ayahuasca could help you with that. This could be all signs and reasons, yeah, that you are ready for it. And sometimes people come and drink ayahuasca and they have not done much work, inner work before. They have not done many therapies before. And honestly, I have to acknowledge I was one of these people. I did already a lot of psychedelics and a lot of plant medicine, more or less almost 20 years before I started. I started very early, and that's not something to copy or to do, but I haven't done the typical therapy before I started with ayahuasca in Peru. Um, I haven't done, I did some Reiki courses and Theta healing courses, and I did different energy healing with the hands. And I think because I had a lot of experience with psychedelics and sacred plants before on my own, there was an openness, but also like somatic practices, meditation practices, like more mindfulness work. Officially, I haven't done before. So I started all that after. So everyone has their own journey, but but I see if people have done these different type of works, like where somehow there is some expansion already there, to see it from different angles or to have a psychological understanding. This actually I have had before because I worked in the therapeutical field, right? I worked before with the kids and teenagers for a decade, in integration settings and psychiatric hospitals and all that. So I knew about that with others. I knew about certain things with others, but I didn't approach it deeply in my own shadow work. I have to say and admit that. Um, so now I have to come back. Like now I was gone, huh, to a different direction again. That's what happens to me regularly. So is ayahuasca good for you? Are you ready for that? It's a very personal question. You really need to feel into that by yourself. But what I just shared is if you already have done certain work before, it will help you. Because yes, there are facilitators, and yes, in my groups, I'm one of the facilitators. And yes, I can facilitate you and I can guide you and I can hold the space. But very honestly spoken, you have to go through it on your own, in the end, like feeling the pain in case pain comes up, or feeling difficult emotions, having difficult memories coming up, it's only you who can go through it, and it's only you who can try to avoid. It's only you who resists. And me as a facilitator, yes, I offer preparation work, what is very important. It's included in the package. Um, to check in with you, to help you to open up, to help you to get aware about certain tools and navigation tools, how you can navigate yourself, and also to build a trust between you and me, because I feel that's very important, that I'm not a totally stranger when we sit the first time in ceremony. So that's all what I offer. And in the end, if you drink ayahuasca, you need to go through it also afterwards. Whatever sensitivities come up in you, you are in charge to show up and to feel through. So it is very helpful if you have some practices, and if you decide to come to a true journey group. I offer the preparation work. I also offer preparation work if you go to another retreat, but then you're with another facilitator over there. That's also possible, and I do that. Um, and in the end, you need to feel ready to be open to feel. And of course, all of us experience resistance. And we learn when we feel resistance while we drink ayahuasca during the ceremony or during the retreat. And if we are aware and can notice this is a resistance, this is a pattern, where do I know this pattern from? So when all these things are showing up, that's great. But we need the capacity to sit with it and to reflect on it and to see it's the own healing, and not to start to project in the outside, etc. Our mind is doing it probably, and but then it's also about us to notice the mind is projecting it in the outside. So is ayahuasca something for you? Do you feel ready? My question back to you is, my invitation back to you is to really feel into it. Do you feel ready to hold and to guide yourself and to feel through difficult emotions, memories, whatever comes up, to be able to sit with that and navigate yourself through? Yes, there are facilitators, but no facilitator can do the work for you, you know? And this is just very important to sit with that. And if you say, yes, I want to do that, is it helpful? Would it be helpful for you? Would it make sense, that you do some preparation work to learn even more, to sit with it, to get more vulnerable, to learn to have a good relationship or a better relationship, improving the relationship to parts in you which are vulnerable, to become more gentle, to become more self-loving. And is there a way to prepare that awareness around that? So there are a lot of things you can do in a preparation time, which in my experience, it's very helpful for people. If people come to me with one preparation session with me, or if people come to me with some preparation sessions more, they start in a different place. And of course, it depends what you have done before in 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 this work of self-awareness and beyond the psychological work. The psychological work is very important. It's very good to be aware about your psychological patterns. That's already a huge thing. And is there already awareness a little bit also about things beyond? Yeah, so that's about the ayahuasca. And now in the same video, because maybe some of you are thinking about ayahuasca or maybe Zamma, the plant diet. The Zamma is the traditional way in the Shipibo tradition, what I learned from my maestros, of becoming a shaman, becoming a healer, because it's the school, the university, learning about energies. So it's learning about really subtle energies. And of course, also we heal with that. For me, learning, expanding consciousness is also healing, wholeness, more and more experiencing wholeness, whatever that means for you. And, there's this trend, it's kind of trendy doing a Masterplant diet and doing a Zama. Um, and that's to a certain degree. I feel that's good because it helps many people. But also sometimes I see people, they want to do it very quickly, and they are actually not there yet. They could do a lot of meditation practice, they could do a lot of yoga, they could do a lot of rituals, they could do a lot of other things to build a bridge to the spiritual, to the subtle, before they really jump into a sama. But some people feel this call, and maybe there is a strong call because it's time to break through the rational and to have a awakening experience to great spirit or to a higher consciousness, however we want to name it and put it in words. So there is no right or wrong. But what I want to say is like if you choose to do a Zama, it's really about openness and learning about subtleties. And it's often about, depending for everyone, depending where we dive in, but there needs to be an openness, that you will see and experience things beyond, beyond everything, it's true so far, or you declare as truth. So there can show up challenges, and for some people not so much, and for some people a lot. And you need to be capable afterwards and also during that to hold yourself and navigate yourself through it. And does this calling of doing a Zama, does it really come from a deep place within you? Or is it just a mental idea and something what you heard from the outside and you just want to do it to tick the box, or because there's this urgency, I want to heal quick? Then I would say if there's an urgency and this wish of healing quick, and with a Zama, a Masterplant Diet, I'm finally healing quicker. No, no, I think that's not the right place. Um, and I know some of you, maybe, some people who are curious about it, they say, I don't feel my heart. I don't feel my intuition. I don't feel my body. When you say, do I feel the calling from deep within? I don't, because I'm always here. But we can check in a personal talk. We can check in and talk about it and inquire about that more. Um, there are people who straight start with a Zama, with a Masterplant Diet, and there are people out there who say, "How can you do that, Uta? How can you allow people to do a Zama without having any ayahuasca experience?" And I understand the point, and I have to say, we are all different. We are on a different path, and some people don't have ayahuasca experience, but they appear very, very ready for a deep experience, and they feel this very deep calling. And when I explore with them, it's really their deep calling, and they are convinced, they are ready, and they want to do it, and it comes from a very deep place. And I have the sense that it's really their thing. I give space for that. And I observed many, many beautiful experiences with people who straight started with the Sama. And there's also, I know some Shipibo elders, they said, like the Zama, like we work with True Journey, we work with only with trees because my maestros only introduced me to trees, tree teachers. They said also, like the trees, they help to integrate. The trees hold all these different ceremonies more together. So it's easier to integrate the learning. If you have just single ayahuasca ceremonies, sometimes it's many different classrooms and it's not whole by the world of the tree. So I feel also the shamans and maestros, they have different approaches, how they introduce you to the world of the tree, how they introduce you to this higher realms of consciousness or intelligences. And also what I experience with my maestros I work with, that you only receive as much as you are ready to. So there is that part. Um, why I allow sometimes people to jump straight into a Zama without having ayahuasca experience. And when I started hosting retreats, when I started to create these spaces, I was very clearly, first you have to drink ayahuasca. It's the first time you just come for ayahuasca retreat. That was a very strict rule. But then I learned differently. I learned that it's not that some people are ready and some people can just start with it sama. And with some people, I really say that doesn't feel right. You just start with ayahuasca. And also I have to mention, if there are a lot of energies around and a lot of cleansing and cleaning and aligning needs to happen, the maestros cannot open a diet right away. They do first all this cleaning and all this personal work. There is the energies of the trees already in and they help, but sometimes with someone who comes the first time, or sometimes people who come not the first time, it needs some ceremonies before they really open the world for the trees, because other things need to happen before. So that's also important to know. And that's just a fact of the energetics around. Um Why, for some people also, depending what you bring in, and depending on your preparation before, sometimes the diet, the zama, can be opened in the first ceremony. There's cleansing, cleaning, and then they open it already. And for some, it needs some ceremonies until they open it. And this is something we cannot know before. That's something what needs to be seen in ceremony and what depend what's happening in ceremony. Um, so I like to slow things down in general, like if you have the feeling it's good for you to start with ayahuasca and then coming another time and doing the sama, or if I have this feeling in a first talk, I really would encourage you and to do that. Um, because in the step-by-step process, a lot of treasure and a lot to learn. And as said, for some people, it just feels very aligned and very, very clear that they are ready to dive directly into the summer. And with that also, I feel like sharing something like when I entered in 2015 Peru, I was hearing about Nuyarao. I was like, whoa. And it's this word of a certain palo, of a certain tree. And, people also told me who had a lot of experience already, no, you cannot do a diet as Amma with that, Ute, you're just a beginner, you're just starting. And I believed these people and I was listening to them and I looked for other plants, but this tree was really with me. And what happened was I met by coincidence, where I don't believe in, I met people who were all dieting with this specific tree. And it just happened and opened up, and I found out about the maestros where everyone I met was saying like, hey, if you want to work with this tree, the Mawa lineage, they are the one who are the closest to this tree. And it just happened that this opened up I, and it was my first proper dieta. And it was the most perfect aligned thing for me. So what I'm learning through that is, yes, there are ideas how you should start and what are the steps. And some of these ideas are based on certain experiences and they have a lot of value and you know, and it can be the right way for many, many people and it can be the right way in general, in the safe way in general. And what I'm repetitively learning and saying, we are all individuals and we come from different places and we have different experiences in this lifetime and maybe in other lifetimes or parallel lives or who knows? I don't know. But it's very clear that we are very different with the energy we bring in and the consciousness we bring in and we are ready for different things. And I offer always before you pay or register, there's a questionnaire and there's a 20-minute call, which sometimes also is longer than 20 minutes, where we have a personal talk, where I say yes or no also. Yes, you can come or no, I think you're not ready yet. And where I also say, yes, if you really want to do a diet and I explain you all the things where you need to be aware about from my point of view, you still want to do it. There are cases where I say, sorry, you cannot do a diet with us right now. You can do ayahuasca retreat, but no diet. Or I even sometimes say, I think there are other things you need to explore first. And yeah, it can be that then people go to another retreat where they have a yes. That's fine too, because I need, as a facilitator and as an organizer, I need to feel good too. So I need to feel if it's in alignment. So maybe there was something in that talk what helped you to find out if you're ready for ayahuasca or if you're ready for a Sama. Maybe there was something what was somehow resonating, or maybe not. Maybe I was mumbling too much in different directions, but this is what came out of the present moment for that. Thank you.